The delay of Path of Exile 2's next expansion, 0.5 Return of the Ancients, has given me a golden opportunity to revisit a game that has never really hooked me in the past. That game is Diablo 4, an action RPG that released 3 years ago, and I played through it back then, got to the end game, bounced, tried it numerous times over and over, played through the Vessel of Hatred, but it never kept me gripped for more than a couple of hours. Well, today, the newest expansion, the Lord of Hatred, hits for Diablo 4, and I wasn't going to play it because I truly thought that Path of Exile 2's next update was going to hit at the end of April or early May, so I didn't want to get involved in yet another game, but because it actually releases on May 29th, I will be hopping into Diablo 4 and giving it a go. And I'm kind of happy for that. And this video is going to explain exactly why. I'm going to go through a little bit of my history with Diablo for you guys because I used to be an absolute unashamed basher of Diablo 4. In fact, on my main channel, some of my most popular videos way back when I started actually growing were bashing on Diablo 4 and propping up Path of Exile 1 and Path of Exile 2. They were reacted to by Asmongold numerous times over. They received tens of thousands, sometimes 100,000 or more views, and my channel was tiny compared to what it was today. It was like 5,000, 6,000 subscribers. And these popped off, and I farmed the Diablo 4 hate train, and honestly, I do regret it a little bit. I really fired up the two communities against each other, and it's something that I wish I hadn't done, but it is already finished. I did it, and the best I can do now is just say, I regret it, shouldn't have done it, and course correct in the future. I haven't made a D4 bad or D4 is pales in comparison to Path of Exile 2 video in years at this point. The closest that I've come to that is talking about the old game director kind of calling out Path of Exile 2 after its big endgame reveal right before the release of early access, but I've really not done it since. And I've not really enjoyed the game, but my father has actually been playing Diablo 4 in the lull periods between PoE 2's release 0.4 and 0.5, and he's been loving it. I even took his paladin for a little bit of a run through the pit. It was very easy. He's very busted, but it was better than I remember. The abilities felt kind of good to use, and I'm really going to give it another honest go here because I've learned something in these past several months. When I finished out my second character in 0.4, my werewolf, Smith of Kitava, and I played through Diablo 2 for the first time. I played through No Rest for the Wicked. I've played several other games, and it's opened up my perspective much more. And I realized as a creator on YouTube and just as a gamer in general, that is extremely important to the development of my channel and to the honing of my opinions. I think I have been too monolithic in the past, only having really played Path of Exile 1 and Path of Exile 2 in the ARPG genre. Yeah, I played Last Epoch, and yeah, I've dabbled in other games very briefly, but I really want to expand the breadth of my knowledge when it comes to these games and make sure my opinions are more nuanced and not so black and white. It's something that I've really encouraged in the community, especially this past year and a half, and I really want to live out those values myself here on this channel. Those are really the big reasons why I'll be trying the new Diablo 4 expansion. My dad's playing it. I want to get a more well-versed opinion in the ARPG genre. And the third, and honestly, a pretty large reason in of itself, it actually looks pretty lit. It does look fun, okay? I'm going in blind, okay? I only know the highlight features. There's War Plans, which is basically a revamped endgame system that looks very similar to Path of Exile 1's Atlas skill tree. And then there are two new classes. There's the Paladin, there's the Warlock. I played the Warlock in Diablo 2. It was extremely fun. I played the Paladin briefly on my dad's account. That was also cool. Both playstyles seem very weighty, which is definitely the type of gameplay I'm looking to exhibit when I touch these type of games. I really didn't like the Druid when I played it in Diablo 4. It felt very lackluster to me. Same with the Barbarian, so I'll probably be starting with a Paladin. And I honestly don't know what else to expect beyond that because I'm going in blind. I know the headline features and that's it. I haven't watched the cinematic for the Lord of Hatred. I've played through the main campaign and the Vessel of Hatred campaign. I think the main campaign was probably a 7 or 8 out of 10 for me when it comes to the story, and the Vessel of Hatred campaign was probably a 2 out of 10. I thought that was an absolute joke. But from a couple of the murmurings that I've seen in my Discord and in headlines, I haven't dove into any articles. It seems like the campaign of this is very well received, and it's very well done. So I'm really excited to dive into whatever Blizzard has prepared for us here today and close this out. I did listen to the Riker and Zane, I think his name is Zane, interview. He's the new associate game director on Diablo 4. And usually the interviews with Blizzard are not that great. Not good. They're just honestly not good. They're very boring. The developers seem very scripted in how they speak. And it's almost like they have a document in front of them with predetermined lines that they should say to, any question that they might receive about the update. Well, this interview didn't seem like that. It seemed much more in the vein of Grinding Your Games getting interviewed by myself or Darth Microtransaction or Gazzy or Zizarin or someone else, where this guy just responded based on his own thoughts and he gave pretty nuanced opinions when it comes to the game. So another thing that I've kind of been reading is that they're finally really listening to player feedback, but not giving the players what they want, but what they think the players need. So I really think they may have cooked with this one. I'm going to put out a review video, I'm sure, on this secondary channel after I played it a little bit. It might be terrible. I might bounce really quickly, but right now I'm excited because my dad's playing. I want to broaden my perspective, and the classes look pretty sick alongside the story. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, you guys. You're going to be playing D4 Vessel? No, Lord of Hatred as you wait for 0.5, or are you skipping out on it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I don't want to encourage the warring between sides anymore. I think I did that more than enough several years ago.